Dear friends, so today is November 2nd, and we have, of course, in 3 days, a very important election that will influence our lives as American citizens, but also influence the lives of many people globally. So I'm not here to tell you who to vote for or which side to take, because every decision we make usually is a result of our own personal conditioning, whether it's our childhood conditioning or the political affiliation of our parents or siblings or ecosystem or social network, or it is other conditioning, whether you're an immigrant or not, whether you are rich or poor. So the conditioning goes deep. It's childhood, it's parents, it's ancestors, it's politics, it's economics, it's race, it's gender, it's religion, it's so many things. And my experience is nobody changes their mind anyway, even when there are political debates. It doesn't matter who is reasonable or unreasonable. If both sides are unreasonable or either side is reasonable, doesn't matter. You will go back more convinced than ever that you are right. And you will reinforce your conditioning. That's how it happens. Okay. So, given that, I have been pressured a lot recently to say something. And so, here's what I'm going to say. Okay. Here is what I'm going to say. First of all, you don't control the outcome, or maybe you do. I mean, it depends. The critical mass will determine the outcome, and you contribute to the outcome. But fearing about the outcome is only going to cause you more stress right now. And as you know, stress is associated with all kinds of things: inflammation, weakened immune system, and high blood pressure, and time sickness, and chronic illness. And stress is defined as the perception of threat. So whether you're feeling threatened by what's going to happen with the election, you're threatened by your own economic status, your own safety, whether you're an immigrant or not, your own economic status, your own religious views, your own views about reproductive rights, etc., etc. It's obviously uh, going to cause anxiety and fear and reactivity, which we know is not healthy, sympathetic overdrive. So, what I would suggest right now is do recognize that you have a choice to stop, smile, observe your bodily sensations, observe your breath, and then ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want for myself? What do I want for my family? What do I want for my friends? What do I want for my social ecosystem? What do I want for the country? What do I want for the world? And then listen to your body. Feel the sensations in your body. They're never wrong, okay? The sensations will tell you what you're feeling. So, what do I want? What is my deepest desire right now? Okay. And how is my choice going to influence what I want? How is my choice going to influence what I want? Um, if you ask me what I want a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthier, and joyful world. But I suspect that a lot of people want that. They want peace, they want social, economic, gender justice, they want joy, they want good health, and they want a sustainable biology and a sustainable world. I think that's my opinion. I might be wrong, but I can express my opinion without insisting that I'm right. So I'm just expressing my opinion, not saying that I'm right. I could be drastically wrong about my opinion, but that's what most people want. So then, given that, um, you know, smile a little bit, feel your body, take a few deep breaths, maybe sing a little bit or chant a little bit, and then see that every choice you make will influence your future and definitely the future of people who are close to you, around you. And maybe if there's a critical mass of people choosing um, joy as the ultimate measure of success, and joy includes peace and empathy and compassion and healing, then maybe we'll see an outcome that a lot of us will be pleased with. But I can't say that everyone will be pleased with um, that outcome because, again, we all have our own personal history of trauma. And everything I'm saying, all the stress in the world, somehow or the other, is connected to trauma. Whether it was physical trauma you experienced as a child, or verbal trauma, or emotional trauma, or trauma, psychological, sexual, or trauma, ancestral trauma, or trauma is all pervasive, and the memory of trauma always surfaces as anger, and then the desire to get even is called hostility, and then the guilt and shame that occur are as a result of blaming yourself, and all of this leads to depression. Somehow, trauma and the memory of trauma is linked to anger, hostility, guilt, shame, depression, fatigue, and ultimately, epigenetically, modifies your gene activity in the direction of inflammation, high blood pressure, decreased heart rate variability, a weakened immune system, and on and on. And then the recycling of that trauma, which we've witnessed. I grew up in an age where there was the memory of World War II, the memory of the Holocaust, the memory of the atomic bomb. My father used to talk about First World War, and then we've seen all, humanity right now in trauma in Gaza, in Ukraine, in many parts of the world, Afghanistan, Iran. We are recycling trauma. So let's perhaps be a little mindful and a little compassionate for ourselves, empathy for those who are suffering. Empathy means we feel their suffering. Compassion, our desire to alleviate that suffering, our desire for peace, and our desire for prosperity that will come if we all make mindful choices. So that's it. 3 days from now, whatever happens will influence our lives and the lives of those that we love, and also the lives of those who we consider adversaries. Have empathy and compassion for your adversaries, because, like you, they too are experiencing a lot of stress and anger and distrust and in one way or another suffering. Let's commit to alleviating each other's suffering, and that's the best we can hope for. Just make mindful choices, and never mind who agrees with you, who doesn't agree with you. Um, if you feel you're right, then you're right, but don't insist on defending your rightness. Choose love over being right. I wasn't going to post this message, but I've got so many inquiries from so many people, including the media, that I thought it would be irresponsible for me not to say something, or at least say what I felt like. Take care. Peace be with you.